What's up, guys? Mitch here again. I'm excited to talk to you today about an issue very important, and that I feel like there's a lot of controversy and a lot of misinformation and misconceptions. Is that a word? Misconceptions about. And what we're going to talk about is dairy. I'm actually going to do a series on dairy. So this will be part 1, and there'll be part 2, part 3, part 4, and part 5, and maybe part 6. I'm not sure how many parts there's going to be, but there's going to be some parts. So bear with me. Today I'm only going to talk briefly about a little bit of dairy, and then I'll fill you in on some more. First off, we're going to answer the question together: is dairy really a superfood and vital for your health? Because it feels like that is the case. That your bones are going to break if you don't eat dairy. Your kids aren't going to develop properly if they don't eat dairy. It's pushed on us and marketed to us. Like, literally, how can you survive without dairy? Anyway, so let's look at some facts. Let's look at some research. And you can decide for yourself. So first off, let's talk about some nutrients that are indeed found in milk. There's lots of them, not going to deny it. So milk has minerals like phosphorus and potassium. It's got vitamins B12, riboflavin, and niacin. It's been fortified with vitamin D and vitamin A, which are not originally found in it. So just so you know, it's been tampered with, unless you're buying raw milk. Anyway, and vitamin D helps with calcium assimilation. So don't think that milk is glorious and going to help your bones naturally. They've actually had to add some stuff to it. But hey, that's okay. We're just going to look at it as it is right now. I'm just going to tell you, though, all of the nutrients found in milk are found in whole plants. Isn't that awesome? Calcium. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that calcium was found in milk, but obviously calcium. So, yeah, green leafy vegetables. Some fruits have calcium. All sorts of plants have calcium in them. And in fact, okay, and you might be asking, well, what about vitamin D? Yeah, all you need is the sun. If you're exposed to the sun, your own body produces vitamin D. Sunshine is vital to your health. Do you need to go out and burn your skin? No, I don't recommend that, but I do suggest you are not afraid to expose your skin to sunlight, at least for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then if you want to put sunscreen on, by all means, go ahead, but you need it. And anyway, so sunshine and whole plants together, you cover all of the nutrients that are found in milk. And you can also avoid some of the non-nutrients that are found in milk. And this is something that you might want to pay attention to. So there's artificial hormones. Okay, sometimes. It used to be very common that farmers would give artificial hormones to dairy cows to increase their milk production, but this poses some problems. So these artificial hormones, with these mass production of milk, has caused increased rates of mastitis. So now we have to give the cows more antibiotics to help combat the infection of the udders. Also, these synthetic hormones have been linked to raise IGF-1 levels in milk, which has been linked to cancer. High levels of IGF-1 is not necessarily a good thing. So, synthetic hormones have actually been banned in a lot of countries. They're not allowed to give them to dairy cows, but guess what? The United States, the free world that it is, hey, we're going to let the farmers choose. And so there's a lot of milk that still has residues of artificial hormones that can cause problems with your health. So let's say you say, well, hey, cool, I'm going to buy milk that does not have any artificial hormones. Awesome. But now you have to worry about natural hormones in milk, like estrogen and progesterone. So excess level, okay, so these hormones are naturally produced in our bodies. So when we intake foods that have high levels of these hormones, it increases the levels of hormones in our own body. excess estrogen has been linked to increased rates of prostate cancer in men, increased rates of breast cancer in women, or delayed puberty in boys, and early onset puberty of girls. Excess estrogen has also been linked to thrombosis, which is just blood clotting, which can then lead to a stroke or pulmonary embolism or a heart attack. So again, might be something to think about. Dairy has also been found to contain traces of toxic chemical residues. Let's face it, the world we live in is increasingly more toxic. Pollution, drugs, heavy metals, all of the petroleum products that we're using now, herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, there's toxins everywhere. And all mammals alike, when we're exposed to these toxic chemicals, we tend to accumulate them or store them in our fat cells as a security measure, because we can always burn the fat cells or get rid of the fat cells and get rid of the toxins. However, well, you guys know, animal products are known to contain a lot of fat. In fact, they're only made of fat and protein. That's it. There's no carbohydrates in there. So the majority or a lot of percentage of the calories in animal products comes from fat, which can have toxic chemical residues, which can cause all sorts of problems in the body. They can disrupt endocrine function, they can be immunotoxic, they can be neurotoxic. So things that you want to stay away from these. This is one of the many reasons why I am not an advocate of consuming animal products, including dairy. Now, some of you might be questioning, well, should I breastfeed my child? You did mention that toxic chemical residues can be passed on through milk, and it's true. Breast milk has been known to contain toxic chemical residues, but I suggest you do not worry about it and just breastfeed that child at least 6 months if you are able to. It is the best thing for you and the child. There are so many health benefits, mental health benefits of breastfeeding. I am a huge advocate of breastfeeding. Now, there are certain circumstances, if a mom is using illegal drugs or recreational drugs, these can be passed on to the child through the milk and cause some serious damage. I would not recommend that. And there are certain medications that if a mother is taking, definitely should not be breastfeeding as well. Some chemotherapy drugs, antiviral drugs. Anyway, your doctor will know the medications that could definitely pose health threats to your child, and he'll let you know. Anyway, if you're only breastfeeding your kid for 1 to 3 years, maybe 6 months, however you choose, but to continue to push and to consume dairy as much as the Dairy Council suggests 2 to 3 times a day for the rest of our lives, now that, my friend, may pose some health problems later on down the road. So, we've talked a little bit today. First part is some of the nutrients that are found in milk, but they're also found in whole plants, except for vitamin D, but you get that with some healthy sunshine. And then we've also talked about some non-nutrients in milk. You might want to be wary of some artificial hormones, the natural estrogen and progesterone that are contained in milk, and then the toxic chemical residues that may reside in the milk you're drinking. Please stay tuned for part 2. It is going to be awesome. We are going to talk about calcium, more specifically milk, the calcium in milk, and whether or not it really does deliver on its promise to make your bones stronger. Stay tuned.